Good morning, friends, and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning program that is organized by Shri Kanmanjri Vidyapith. Friends, you already know that we are doing the revision. In this revision session, one by one, we will discuss all the question answers of your textbook. So here we are with all the question answers. For that, you need to remove the exercise of your textbook. The very first question is, name two typical habitats of microorganism. Meaning of the word habitat means where do they live? Where do the microorganisms live now? You already know microorganisms, they live at every place. Air, water, land. So you can name any two. Okay. So here it is, science. And in science, we are solving textual exercise of chapter 2. Okay, the very first question, question A, that is answered in short. It is generally one word answer. Name two typical habitats of microorganisms. The habitats, as I said, you can write air, water, land, any of the two. Name a disease caused by bacteria, tuberculosis, cholera, any name you can write. Okay, so note down the name. Tuberculosis or bacteria, any of the one. Third one, name the microorganism that is used for obtaining alcohol from sugar. In the revision session, you saw that there are various enzymes which are converting the sugar to alcohol, invertase enzymes. But here they have asked about a particular microorganism. Try to recall when we were doing the revision in the just previous lecture. There we had activity like this. Take water, add sugar, to that add yeast and leave it for some days. The smell that you will get, that will be of the alcohol, and this is how, by using yeast, alcohol is prepared from sugar. So the microorganism that is used for obtaining alcohol from sugar is yeast. Next, name one carrier of disease causing microorganism. Mosquito is one of the carrier. Another is housefly. Housefly is the most common one which is used for carrying the disease. Next, where do external parasites of animals live? Try to recall. Parasites are of two types, external and internal. The external parasites, where do they reside? On the skin. So, the first 5 answers I am writing down for you. You have to note it down. The very first one, air or water or land, any of the two you can write. Second one, disease caused by bacteria, tuberculosis, cholera, any you can write. Third one, microorganism used for obtaining alcohol from sugar, it is yeast. Fourth one, name one carrier of disease causing microorganism. Housefly. Fifth, where do external parasites reside? External parasites, they reside on skin. So these are the very first 5 answers. Quickly note them down, then we'll move further on the next short question answers. Be quick. So I hope you have noted down. Next is short question answers. The question being, in that, the very first question is, what are the general characteristics of microorganisms? Try to recall when we were doing microorganisms, in that the very first beginning we had discussed about its some of the characteristics. The microorganisms, they are found everywhere. First of all, you cannot see them by naked eye, that is, it's one of the characteristics. In order to see them, microscope is needed. Second is they are found everywhere in air, water, land. Then they are capable of existing in the extreme conditions of temperature and dryness by forming a hard covering outside their body, which is called as cyst. Under suitable conditions, the cyst will break up. Next is they are helpful to us while some are harmful to us. Okay, so these are the basic characteristics of microorganisms. Very first answer. Question B, in that first answer, it occurs alone as well as in colonies. Some live alone, some occur in colonies. Next is cannot be seen by naked eye. Seen only through microscope. Next is present everywhere, on air, water and land. Next is some are harmful, some are useful. Next one, they are capable of existing in extreme conditions of temperature by forming a hard outer layer on the surface. Called cyst. So this is about the characteristics. Some are living alone, some in the colonies. Okay, so this is about the basic characteristic of microorganism. Note down the answer, then we'll move further. on the next particular answer. Be quick. So this is about the answer. Note it down quickly. Hope you have noted down the answer. Coming to the second question. Second question over here is, how do the blue-green algae and symbiotic bacteria convert atmospheric nitrogen into nitrogenous compounds? We already know that the symbiotic bacteria, that is the lichens, and the other bacteria, that is the rhizobium, which is present in the root nodules of the leguminous plants, it will convert the atmospheric nitrogen into the nitrates, because plants cannot take directly the nitrogen. So nitrogen needs to be converted into nitrates, and rhizobium, which is present in the root nodules of the leguminous plants, will convert the atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates. So that is about the second answer. So they will convert nitrogenous compounds into useful nitrates. And that process is called as nitrification. Why they do that? Because plants cannot take direct nitrogen this is the way of nitrogen conversion. So plants cannot take the direct nitrogen, and so through nitrates nitrogen is obtained. and this is how soil fertility also increases. So this is how the nitrogen gets converted into useful nitrogenous compounds. Quickly note down this answer, then we'll move further. Quickly note it down. Moving to the next answer. Answer number 3. What is fermentation? Describe the commercial use of microorganism. Before we describe the commercial use of microorganism, let us first understand what is fermentation. The slow decomposition of any compound, organic compound, in presence of enzyme, absence of oxygen is called as fermentation. Presence of enzyme, absence of oxygen is called fermentation. Okay, this is the very important example. Sugar gets converted into glucose fructose, enzyme zymase, glucose gets converted into alcohol, plus carbon dioxide. The next answer in this is the commercial use. Commercial use of microorganism. We already know that microorganism like yeast is again used in the formation of alcohol, the wine from the fruit juices. So if we talk about the basic use of it in the commercial basis, then it is the alcohol from sugar or starch and wine from fruit juice. So this is answer number 3. Note it down, then we'll move further. Be quick. So I hope you have noted it down. Now let's move further. Answer number 4. Next is, what are the symptoms of food poisoning? Name 2 microorganisms that cause food poisoning. Coming to the very first part, the symptoms of food poisoning. Symptoms of food poisoning are headache, fever, vomiting, and diarrhea. The two bacterias, the two microorganisms that can cause food poisoning. Now, the microorganisms that cause food poisoning. The name of about 4 microorganisms are given in your book. That is Salmonella, Aspergillus, Clostridium botulinum, and Staphylococcus. Among them, you have to just write any 2. Okay, so you can write the easy one, that is Salmonella and Aspergillus. Okay, so this is answer number. Please quickly note it down, then we'll move on the last part. this is about next answer. Fifth one, what is meant by food preservation? Name two food preservatives that is used for fruit juices, jams and jellies. Food preservation is the technique by which the perishable food can be stored for a longer duration of time. And the two names of food preservatives are sodium benzoate and potassium metabisulfite. Sodium benzoate and potassium metabisulfite are used. Okay, come on. Now that is about the food preservatives. Note it down quickly. So this is about the next answer. With this, the short answer gets over. We will now discuss about the long answers one by one. In the long answers, the very first question is, what are the beneficial actions of bacteria, fungi and algae? If we talk about bacteria, then we know that bacteria is converting the nitrogen into useful nitrogenous compounds which the plants are taking and they are making their own food. So this is how the plants can make the useful nitrogenous compounds by the help of bacteria. The next one is about the useful action of fungi. If we talk about the useful action of fungi, then you already know about the yeast, a type of fungi which is used for the formation of alcohol from starch or sugar, for the conversion of wine to wine from the fruits. Then in order to make anything fluffy, we are using yeast, which is a fungi. It is also used to give some flavors to the cheese. So this is about the importance of fungi. Then comes algae. Algae, blue-green algae. It can again fix the atmospheric nitrogen by its process. So they are converting again, and the converting the nitrogen into useful nitrogenous compounds, helping in maintaining the proportion of nitrogen and increasing the soil fertility. So this is about the benefit of bacteria, fungi and algae. Next, describe the natural fixation of nitrogen. If we talk about the nitrogen fixation, then it can be done by two ways, natural and artificial. Artificial by using the urea and such compounds. Natural, it can be done by the symbiotic bacteria and through lightning. Symbiotic bacteria, that is the rhizobium bacteria, which is present in the root nodules of the leguminous plants, will convert the atmospheric nitrogen into useful nitrogenous compounds. This is how they are useful. Next one, during lightning. During lightning, what will happen? The atmospheric nitrogen will combine with the rainwater, and in the form of acid rain, it will then fall on the surface of the earth. The nitrogen proportion will remain fixed in the atmosphere. The nitrates, acid rain, when it will react with the limestone in the soil, it will form nitrates, and these nitrates are again going to be used by the plants. And this is how naturally the nitrogen fixation occurs. Coming to the next answer, how do microorganisms clean the environment? For that, how do microorganisms clean the environment? That is the next question. Microorganisms, what will they do? They will decompose the dead organic waste of the plants and animals into simple, harmless compounds. When these compounds will get mixed up with the soil, microorganisms will just be helpful in this way for cleaning the environment. So their main work is to decompose the plant or animal waste. Anaerobic bacteria, they will degrade animal dung into biogas. Anaerobic means in absence of oxygen, this bacteria will convert animal dung into biogas. That is the way of production of methane. The leftover part, okay, once the gas is produced, whatever is left out, that is called as slurry, it can be used as manure. So this is how microorganisms also help in cleaning the environment. Coming to the next particular question. Name the causative microorganism for the rust in the wheat, the blast in the paddy, and the yellow vein mosaic in the bindi, that is okra. For rust in the wheat, it is fungi. Again, for the blast in the paddy, it is fungi. The last one, yellow vein mosaic in bindi, that is okra, it is caused by virus. Just the name needs to be given. The next question, tick the odd one out. Okay, it is very easy, but you don't only have to tick, you also have to mention the proper reason on why are you selecting this as odd one out. Let us discuss the very first one, bacteria, fungi, virus, algae and protozoa. You can see in this virus is standing different. Okay, we already know that the rest four are the basic type of microorganism. While virus, we are not including in the basic four types. We have already discussed about this in detail. Why? Because virus is having different characteristics. Whenever it is going inside the body of any living organism, at that time only it becomes active. So, because of its different properties, it is not coming in this. Next is milk, curd, rennin and lactobacillus. Rennin. It is coming over here as different, while all three rest are responsible for the formation of curd from milk. Milk gets converted into curd by lactobacillus. So rennin is used for different purpose. It's not coming in this. Third one, anaerobic bacteria, blue-green algae, animal dung and biogas. Right now only we discussed that anaerobic bacteria will convert the animal dung into biogas, that is methane. Here the blue-green algae is having a different function, that is to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. So here it's the blue-green algae with a different perspective. Next, skin disease, malaria, dysentery and giardiasis. Here skin disease will come. Why? Because other all diseases are caused by protozoa, while skin disease is mostly the fungal disease. So in this the answer is skin disease. Next, salt, sugar, oil, Clostridium, sodium metabisulfite. Here Clostridium will come. Why? Because other all are food preservatives. So the tick, the odd one out, is clear now. The last part, that is the define. Define the following terms. In that, the very first one, food poisoning. Food poisoning means what? Because of the contaminated food consumption, whenever the person becomes ill, then the effect of it, the illness that is created by it, is referred to as food poisoning effect. Illness caused by eating the spoiled food is called as food poisoning. Nitrogen cycle. The proportion of nitrogen is 78% in the atmosphere, and that remains fixed in spite of using the nitrogen by various different living beings. Okay, whether it is a plant or animal, they are using nitrogen by some or the other means, but proportion of nitrogen will remain same, that is the flow of nitrogen from one particular phase to another, so that total proportion of the nitrogen remains fixed, is called as nitrogen cycle. So that is about the nitrogen cycle. It contains various steps like ammonification, nitrification, denitrification. You have studied the whole nitrogen cycle in detail. Next, pasteurization. You know, it is the process by which milk is first heated and then it is cooled down for about 30 minutes. Next is pasteurization. Pasteurization is the process in which milk is heated and for about 30 minutes. Why? To kill all the bacteria, and then it is cooled and then packed. This process is called as pasteurization, as it was developed by Louis Pasteur. Then you are having two questions of higher order thinking skills. In that, the very first one, why is virus not included in the category of microorganism? Because it is not considered alive. Whenever it is going inside any living organism, over there it goes and multiplies. It reproduces only inside the cell of host organism. It may be any plant, any animal, or any other bacteria. Okay, so it needs a living entity where it can go, multiply, reproduce. But outside, it doesn't exist. Next, why does curd sit faster in summer than in winter? In the summer, the conditions are warmer, and warmer conditions it provides the best environment for the bacteria to multiply. So lactobacillus will multiply very quicker in the warmer situations, and that's how it will convert milk into curd quickly. While in the winter the temperatures are very low, so the multiplication of the bacteria becomes slow, and that's why milk needs more time to set as curd in winter as compared to summer. So with this, we complete with the solution of the exercise that is given to you. I hope you have understood all the question answers. That's all for the content of the day. In our next particular lecture, we will meet with the revision of the next particular chapter. That's all for the content of today. Thank you so much, my dear students, for listening to me. Have a very good day. Bye bye.